Let's go to Chicago and let's check this out. Gatorade Throwback Edition. Now, this is something that has been around for several years, I would say up to 3 years, and it keeps going away and coming back and going away and coming back. And as you can see, this is an 11.6 fluid ounce can of Gatorade Throwback Edition. It seems like it just came back like within the last 90 days or so. Because if you check Reddit, that's when all the conversations about this start. So let's take a look at the can here. This is a image of my can that I'm about to taste. Gatorade Thirst Quencher, non-carbonated. This is orange. And then, of course, it has the orange stripe at the top, which it did not have originally, in order to highlight the fact that it's a throwback edition. Now, looking at Gatorade through the years, that is not something I'm going to go into in this video because that's a very deep history. So we're going to just focus on this particular 11.6 ounce can right here. Now, can you buy these? I don't know. I found these at a discount grocery store chain that typically specializes in items that are either discontinued or something that didn't sell in other places. And I think this can was a whopping 50 cents. Now, eBay, someone on eBay has you covered. Can you buy them in the US? Yes, you can. You can get all three flavors for only $100 from somewhere in Massachusetts, and it's only $55 in shipping. So yes, you can buy them in the US, but I would suggest that you check somewhere other than eBay. All right, now, what was going on in the 1990s? Gatorade hasn't, I have been unable to find any advertising for Gatorade for this product online, including on their own website. So I consider it to be a little bit obscure. It's kind of a Reddit discussion oddity, and now it's a YouTube discussion oddity. So let's take a look. What was going on in the 1990s? The most popular film of the entire 1990s was Titanic. The most popular song was by Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. In the 1990s, the most popular sporting event in the US was the Super Bowl, especially Super Bowl 28 in 1994, which drew the largest US television audience in history at the time. Other highly popular events included the 1994 FIFA World Cup, hosted in the US, and the Chicago Bulls dynasty that was led by Michael Jordan. What were the 1990s most known for? The 1990s was a decade that left an indelible mark on popular culture. From the rise of grunge music and the explosion of hip hop to the emergence of iconic TV shows and blockbuster movies, the 90s was a time of creativity, innovation, and cultural shifts. Okay, I do not believe that music took a turn for the better. I think that the 80s were the peak of music, probably in the last century in America. And I think that the rise of grunge and hip hop and all of that in the 90s, let's just say it changed a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this here. There's the can that I'm about to drink. Here's the back of it. I did drink Gatorade in the 1990s. I remember it was in a glass bottle. Now, here's a real oxymoron. It says Throwback Edition, and right below that is a QR code. They didn't have those in the 90s. So just pointing that out. Let's take a look at the ingredients. Water, dextrose or sugar, citric acid, salt, sodium citrate, monopotassium phosphate, gum arabic, natural flavor, sucralose acetate, isobutyrate, and then glycerol ester of wood rosin, and then yellow number 6. Now, the glycerol ester of wood rosin is something I specifically remember reading on the ingredients in the 1990s when it came in a glass bottle. Now, I don't drink much Gatorade, if at all. In fact, I don't believe I've drank Gatorade much since they quit using glass bottles, which I preferred. I just think it tasted different once it was in plastic. Okay, so let's check this out. And let me see if this throws me back to the 1990s, because I was drinking Gatorade in the 90s in sports. Okay, nice pop there. I'm getting orange on the nose. In fact, this smells like an orange sickle, which would be a vanilla and artificially flavored orange ice pop. So that's immediately what it reminds me of. And you know, I didn't expect this. I did not expect for it to actually remind me of the 1990s, and it does. The very first thing is salt, as if you're drinking salt water. And of course, that would be one of the electrolytes. This doesn't say electrolytes on it. The ones today do. Okay, this is milder. Now, so I guess that over the years and the decades that have passed since the 90s, that Gatorade has pumped up the flavor, so to speak, because the most recent time that I drink Gatorade Orange at a sporting event, it was more powerful than this. So as far as them using the original formulation dating back to the 90s, it is interesting to go back. I like that. That's a nice experience. Now, how do I rate this? Since I don't really drink Gatorade much, this actually does remind me of what Gatorade used to taste like. So I would have to say that this is a clear winner. I'm going to give this a 10/10. Okay. Now, what do I have to compare it to? That would be Powerade. All right. Now, this is something that I drank a few times. And after knowing the ingredients, if I'd ever drank it again, it was on accident or an emergency. Okay, Powerade is made by the Coca-Cola Company, and it was introduced in 1988 as a competitor to Gatorade, and is now part of the Coca-Cola portfolio of sports drinks. In North America, Powerade is managed under the strategic direction of Body Armor Sports Nutrition's management team, which Coca-Cola fully acquired. Okay, and then long story short, it's got high fructose corn syrup. So, to me, on my list of things to drink or not to drink, this is a definite no, because I consider it to be garbage. I don't like high fructose corn syrup, and I wouldn't drink it if somebody paid me to. So, that's the only comparison that I have. Powerade, I would give a 0, and Gatorade, I would give this a 10/10, because I'm really surprised that it reminds me of the 90s. And I'm glad that it does not have high fructose corn syrup. Now, given the choice of drinking Gatorade or something I could make at home, I would just pull up some filtered tap water, put a twist of salt in it, and a squeeze of an orange. So that's it for today's Snack Food Quickie. And until next time, peace out from San Francisco.